Yeah, and it was probably somewhere around 2010. So I'd come back from working with out at Rucker. I was part-time policing for a brief time, and came back into full-time law enforcement as the sergeant over the task force in Henry County. And we did a lot of narcotics investigation. So we got set up, and I had this informant that was working with me. The informant came to me and said, "Hey, this dude is selling off of, out of Shorterville, and his name's Anthony Blackman. They call him Ant." I was like, "All right, well, can you buy?" "Oh, yeah, I can buy." So we wired him up and did, everything like we would normally do, photograph the buy money, all that, set them down there. He goes to the location, makes the buy, comes back. We get the narcotics, we package it up, we send it to the lab. I said, "All right, we got a good buy here. I'm gonna go ahead and do my search warrant." Typed up the affidavit, did the search warrant, got everything taken care of. And you have time limits on search warrants when you do them, and you don't want to go right immediately away and hit because this guy's selling to a lot. Yeah, you don't want to burn your informant. So we tried to coordinate this perfectly so that we could A, protect the informant, and B, know when he's going to have the most there. Well, what the informant didn't tell me was exactly everything about this location. All right. So when we, got the address, we did all that. I had the paper. We set up the time we're going to hit. We're going to do an early morning hit, So it's dark. Dropped me and another one of the guys with me on our TAC team for Henry County at that time. And we moved through the woods. We set up to wait. We were going to catch this person because they said he would come in there early in the morning. Nobody showed up. We sat there for 2 hours and hiding in the woods, right? So I finally looked at Noel Van Landingham, who was with me. And I said, "Man, we need to, let's go ahead and go make entry over there. I think something will look right." The house looked like this old abandoned house. It was family-owned property by this guy. So we snuck over to the house, got on the porch, breached we found an open door. That's what it was. We found an open door. That's one of the things that stood out. Found an open door. Boom, we go in, we clear, and as soon as we go in, it's obvious nobody's living in this house, right? It's a completely abandoned house. Run down, there's garbage and crap everywhere, to include a complete distribution station. You could get everything in this house from marijuana to powder cocaine to crack cocaine. You name it, it was there. There was money there. There were guns there, and it was all unsecured. So in this area, this guy was the man, to the point that he didn't even care about securing his stuff. Everybody kind of feared this guy, right?
Right.
It was. I said, "All right, this is what we're going to do. We've got our case. We're going to wait for this guy to come here. However long it's going to be, we're going to secrete into this building. We're going to wait." We had people waiting, to come in and assist with the takedown. So we're going to wait. So I'd say that was probably first light when we got there, maybe a little bit after. By 1 o'clock that afternoon, we're tired of waiting. We're sitting there waiting for this takedown to be, right? And if Noel's listening to this, I'm just going to remind you of the bat. Noel got attacked by a bat while we were in there. Never seen Noel move as fast as he did, but he got attacked by a bat. So we're sitting there, we're waiting. Finally, we had found everything to tie this guy to this house. There was mail, there was all his names on stuff. So we knew, okay, we got our guy. We're gonna make a case, cut warrants, we'll get him. Plus, I had the buy on him already.
But it'd be more fun to wait for him to come in.
Way more fun, absolutely. And I've been able to be on several hits where you do that. You get inside the location, and then the look on people's faces when they show up,
at their house
and their money, and you're inside. It's priceless. So we're waiting. Finally, I was like, I don't know that he's going to show up today. So I said, "This is what we're going to do: make our case. We'll get everything. We'll cut warrants for him. We'll go." So we were going to package everything up, get out, put it in evidence, all that, and make our case. And as we're getting ready to do that, I peeked out the window, and there's this car pulls in the driveway. I'm like, whoa. We got to wait. Hold on. And this car's got a female in it. And so to give you a little bit more layout here, the house we were in was family-owned property by this guy. They actually lived with his parents about 100 yards down the road, across the road. So I look, and lo and behold, here he comes walking.
Mm-hmm.
I said, our target's walking. He's coming up here. Just let's hold on. So you might remember there's two guys sitting in, and by that time we had brought another guy. He had snuck in there, so we had 3 people inside the house. And remember, we're going to do this. This guy's supposed to have guns and everything else, and we're on there. I mean, this is a compound setup, so we're all tacked out. Body armor and long guns, and we want to be prepared. Mm-hmm. So this guy walks up, and I said, he's about to make a deal right here in front of us. Sure enough, she hands him the money. He takes the money. He walks around the back. Now, the back door was completely open as well, right?
Yeah.
So steps going out the back door. And I said, here he comes. Here he goes. Here he goes. Door comes open. I wish that I could have recorded at that time the picture of his face, because now you got these 3 guys in green ninja gear with long guns pointing them in your face, yelling at this dude, and we put him on the ground, and he's freaking out. And I'm not so sure.
Who are you?
I didn't get another one of those who are yous, but we put this guy on the ground, and I immediately go out and secure the one that was buying. So we got charges on that one too, and so I get back inside, and the funny part of this is this is how strong this case ended up being. He was out on parole. Thing is, he's out on parole for doing the same thing.
Right.
And so we got him on that. But I go to searching him. You're going to search him, secure him, make sure everything's. I found wads of money in his pocket. Found more dope in his pocket. He's got crack in his pocket, not to mention what we had. He had already packaged up. He had weed in his pocket already packaged up. I mean, this guy's, that's what he did. He sold dope. And so in one of his pockets, I found $2,000. And it was, as I pulled it out, I went, and I remember how I marked my money.
Right.
The Joker still had my buy money
in his
from
pocket.
3 days prior to.
Makes an even stronger
case.
It was.
It all worked out. It was outstanding, right down to the bat chasing Noel Van Lanning.
This guy probably pled to that case, didn't he?
He did plead to that case. There were some other things that came out. There were some threats made towards myself and the other guys that were on the case. I'm not going to elaborate and go into that, but it did work out. He got convicted on that, and but that was my very first drug raid in Henry County, which turned out to be, it was just such a great case and a good experience. And like I said, that look on his face when he comes in the door, and the law is there. Yeah. Legal justification to do it. All the paperwork and documents are signed, and we didn't leave anything to chance, but
just not many cases that turned out
all the way
just
down
perfect.
to finding my daggum buy money from 3 days ago in this guy's pocket.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.